Hi, and welcome to the VOILA Method podcast, Solutions for the Mind, Body, and Soul with Joel Crandall, the creator and developer of the VOILA Method. The VOILA Method bridges the gap between the complex, making it simple, using an assessment and a treatment protocol that aligns the mind, the body, and the spirit. VOILA Method is more than a technique. It's a lifestyle to help you as a practitioner and your client.
And today my guest is Nancy Bittinger. She's in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and she owns Carlisle Bowen Works there in Pennsylvania. Welcome, Nancy.
Hi, Joel.
Thanks for taking the
Good to
time
see
to join
you.
me today. Great to see you as always. So, Nancy, tell us a little bit. I know you don't like talking about yourself, but tell people a little bit about yourself because you have a really interesting history and what you're doing with Carlisle Bowen Works.
Well, I opened this particular business 7 years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And I started out in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and called it Carlisle Bowen Works. Bowen was mostly what I was doing at that time. And it's going very, very well, which is really something for a very conservative area.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really conservative area, but it's going great, actually. I have about 10 people working here as subcontractors doing all types of different work.
Fantastic. So your business is really growing.
It is.
Right. And you just recently moved into a new space?
Yes, I am in a much larger space, and I started out renting what's basically was medical offices, but I had to unmedicalize it a little bit, make it a little homier.
And you did a beautiful job with that, Nancy.
Thanks. And then just about 6 weeks ago, I purchased the entire building, which includes a large 3-story, 4-bedroom house, and that's now a retreat center where we can have classes and educational classes, which there'll be a VOILA class here first weekend in April. Yeah, and so we can do all kinds of stuff here now.
Brilliant. Look forward to that. So Nancy, I know you're kind of shy, but how has VOILA kind of transformed Nancy?
Well, I'm doing this video.
Yeah.
So, that's huge.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people, that are going to be watching this, they may not understand that. So could you just fill in the gap?
Oh, the terror that I had about videos, it was absolutely a phobia. Mm-hmm. And, you wanting me to do videos was just, it was really, really difficult for me. So,
but you survived.
Yes, I survived and I grew. And so here I am. I'm, without a plan, without a script, without knowing what I'm doing. Here we are. And so that's a big part of it. And
so would you say it's brought you out of your shell a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. And it's, I don't know if brought me out of the shell is a good description, so much as stripped away layers of, whatever I was hiding behind.
Yeah. And that's actually what I see today.
Yeah.
I'll have to navigate my way through all those trees.
You've been patient.
No, you're doing beautifully, and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because just such a big change, and what you're doing in your community is such a big part of who you are. Mm-hmm. And what you do. So I would love for you to talk a little bit more about that, if you don't mind.
I don't mind, and since we talked last week or whenever it was, and you said that you went to the Buddhist temple that I found while I was out there at your place.
Yes.
And you were, and that was a great comparison, because I stumbled upon a Buddhist monk 5 years ago and just started working with him. And before that, I had read books about Buddhism. I had learned about Buddhism. I studied comparative religions. But that's nothing compared to practicing Buddhism.
Yeah.
Just two completely different things. And once I started practicing Buddhism, it was life-changing. It wasn't life-changing reading about it in a book or studying it, but
Right.
practicing.
We talk about that in Voila, don't we? Right? You need to make it
Yes.
experiential for the
Yes.
change to happen. It doesn't come through a book. And what I really got from, and you're going to have to help me with these words, Nancy, because I can't remember them, but everybody just thinks that Buddhism is meditation. And that's
No.
just such a small part of it, right? Because there's these
Yes.
there's more than 3 pillars.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
we don't have to get into all those, but there's 3 things that you must do in conjunction with each other.
Right.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, apparently I didn't study enough, but anyways, no, a huge part of it is learning, and then the practice. And the practice, like you said, isn't just meditation. We just had the chief monk that travels all over the world. He was here doing a class at my office in my new space, and he was talking about it was about letting go of ego, and it was just beautiful. And he said, you can practice 5 hours a day. It doesn't matter if you're going to brag about it.
Right. Yes.
He said he runs into those people. So
yeah.
So it's a practice, and you have to do it, and you have to learn it. And it's not just the meditation. It's everything that goes along with it. And letting go of ego is huge, and that comes with Voila as well. I mean, as soon as you think you know everything, then the whole session goes to shit. I probably shouldn't swear on here.
Swearing's acceptable. I love it.
Okay.
You know that from taking classes.
Right.
No, but it's so true, right? And I've had people come here like, "Oh, it's so ego-based." I'm like, "Wow, what class were you in?" Because as soon as you're
No, it's not. Yeah.
Voila is about listening to what the body wants, not telling the body what it wants.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And even when you get into the other levels, something I have struggled with, I don't even think I've talked to you about this, but I'll just see pictures, and I just have to trust that it means something. So, I was doing a session, and it was a friend of mine, but I saw him with a lasso, and I'm like, what the hell? He looks like Wonder Woman or something with this lasso. But it meant a lot to him, and it made perfect sense. But so often I wanted, in the beginning when I started, hearing things or seeing things, I just wanted to just, put my own judgment on that. And well, I have to follow, whatever, as soon as I try to put my own judgment in something, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and also your own meaning, right? Because to you, the lasso meant nothing, but to the client,
no, he looks silly.
You have to just trust yourself to say it.
Yes, you have to say it.
Oh, this is what this means to me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So allow the client to help guide you too.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting process. It's one of the intangibles, we talk about in Voila, but you don't really understand what I'm talking about until they happen to you.
Right.
And how long did it take, Nancy? And this isn't a time frame kind of question, but that's just a better way of understanding it. But to trust those visions or those things that you're hearing.
Well, I'm a slow learner, Joel. And I had a lot of stuff to work through, and so I don't know. It was a process, because I could, working on friends helped. Being in class helped, because everyone's a lot more open and accepting. But then, as an example, every single session I learned from. I had a young woman walk in, and she was there for Voila, and someone told her to come in and see me just for the emotional release work I do, and that's what she came in for. And I said, well, what's what's going on. I mean, she looked too upset to even fill out a form, the
Right.
paperwork, because she said, I'm so stressed out, my hair's fallen out. That's all I knew about her. I knew nothing else. And so so I brought her in the room and I said, I don't want you to tell me anything. Like whatever was going on, I didn't want her to say a single word to dig into it. So I totally had to completely trust everything that came to me. She didn't say a word. I just asked her if what I was saying meant something to her, and she'd just cry and say yes.
Mhm.
And I would clear things, and and really she didn't say anything. It was just me, trusting everything that came to me, but she was in such a bad place. That's all we could do. And she came out and she said I don't even know what happened in there, Joel. I don't even know. And she's like, that was the most amazing thing I ever experienced. So
Oh, you gave me goosebumps.
yeah,
Everybody can
and
see that.
it gives me goosebumps too. And
No.
but I don't, does that mean the next time I'm going to trust it that much? I don't know. It's just when you get in that space, it's different. But every time I'm heading into the room, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know. But it works out,
Nancy, I'm actually happy that you said that because I just said this in a few seminars where, if I don't do voila for a few days and every session that a person comes in is different. None of them
Yeah,
are the same. So I
right.
go in with that same thought.
Yeah.
Wow, do I know what I'm going to do for this client today? Because we don't.
No, you have no idea.
No, we don't
No.
know. And we just follow the session where it goes, and that's where it ends up. Yeah,
Right.
it's such a beautiful job. And you did something there that I just want to, the viewers, I'm not sure if they got the subtlety of that, is you saw how upset she was and didn't even have her fill out the form. And you didn't
Right.
have her tell you the story because she would have spiraled really fast out of control on you, So those two things that you did were so beneficial for this
Right.
woman.
Turn that off. Turn it
It
off.
really was.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
congratulations. That's wonderful. Um, well, I was going to ask you, like, how does it help you with your sessions with your clients? But I think you just answered that one.
Right. Right.
And what about yourself? We always like to turn voila on ourselves. So how has it
Right.
helped you?
It's done a lot. It's done so much to change things for me. It's really been amazing. Like I said, I'm here doing a video, so that's huge.
Mhm.
And I have a bunch of people walking in my office right now.
Yeah.
I'm doing a live recording, guys. So yeah. Okay. All right. Um,
But let me just
so
stop you right there, Nancy, because what you just did, you couldn't have
yeah.
probably done before. You just set a boundary,
Oh no,
right? You
no.
set a boundry, and very
Yes.
politely, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, me and my mushy boundaries.
No, that was very,
So
that wasn't bushy at all. That was great.
yeah, yeah. So it really has changed so much for me. It's helped me work through so many things. It's I could write a book.
I'm looking forward to reading it.
I don't talk about myself much, so don't hold your breath. But I could write a book if there's enough things that have happened that. But I
Yeah,
doubt the book is coming.
yeah, absolutely. What would you say to someone that is maybe thinking about doing or taking the Voila method journey?
um, um, I would absolutely recommend it, and I would say strap yourself into the roller coaster and put on your big boy pants and just go.
Yeah, that's actually pretty sage advice there.
Yeah,
Because everybody thinks a journey is just straight and up, right?
yeah,
And there are
yeah,
dips in the road. There definitely
yeah, yeah.
are, and for everyone, for myself included. I'm going through one
Right.
now. So it's just it's life. We're all humans, and that's what we're here
Mhm.
for, to be the best humans that we can be. And
Right.
that's what you're doing a really beautiful job of, Nancy.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you're creating that space within yourself, which is helping you create that a bigger space for your clients now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And it's great because I get to, all my staff I have here, I work on everyone here too. So it's just, it's beautiful what we have here and the way we work together, and everyone's helping each other. And, Candy's here, so she does Voila as well. So
Right.
we're just all expanding and growing and helping, and it's awesome.
That brings up another great follow-up question to that, Nancy, is, and we talk about Voila helps with relationships. And
Hmm.
it sounds like also with your coworkers. So explain a little
Right.
bit of how that has helped you with your
Uh,
staff.
well, Betsy probably won't like me using her as an example. You met Betsy, right?
We
When
don't
you
need
were
to
here?
name names, but
Well, she's
cat's out of the bag.
Betsy. Well, all right, it's out there now, but she did not want me to use Voila on her. She didn't want anything to do with any kind of growing or clearing or energy work. She just wanted to do her Bowen therapy, and she was happy with that. And she had all her little emotions stacked up all around her, and she wasn't going to touch any of them. And but she had some stuff that would drive us all a little crazy in here. So that
How did you address those?
yeah. So one day she put herself in my schedule for me to do Bowen on her, and I just walked in the room and I said, "We're doing Voila today." I thought she was going to just burst out in tears on the spot, but that was her very first step into trying any of this, and she's a whole new person. It's been wonderful. And she'll admit, she'll tell you that, it's been awesome. And it's great for all of us here. We're all working together. We're all moving forward together and growing together. And Betsy signed up for the class. She's excited to start her
Oh,
Voila journey.
fantastic.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it really helps with the communication, doesn't it? And just getting to
it does.
understand.
It does. It opens up communication, and you said it works on relationships. I mean, it can also bring a lot of clarity to relationships. As you know, I'm going through a divorce now, so
Right.
setting boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries, right? Yeah, early on in my journey of Voila, people would say, oh, you need to work on my wife, or you need to work on my husband, or my boyfriend, or my girlfriend. And
Yeah.
I started,
No.
I started to get, I started to get the reputation of being a grim reaper because they would like really see each other and like, I don't really like that person, or just
Right.
that person isn't for me right now, that kind
Right.
of thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. It's about just
It's just clarity. It's just clarity, knowing who you are, and what you expect, what you need, and
yeah.
what you won't accept. So
Yeah. This might be this first time some people are meeting you, but hopefully your friends and family see this. But man, I really hope they see what I see right now in you. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful.
I figured out my family will be seeing it.
Please share it. Yeah, just beautiful.
Well,
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know this wasn't easy for you. I know
no,
you.
but it's fine. I'm passionate about the work, and so if it's going to help someone else make that decision, if they want to, whether or not they want to do it, then I'm happy to sacrifice my sanity and make a video.
You mean work on your growth?
Yes, I'll work on my growth.
No, but that's not the reason that I want to talk to you about. What I'm going to say to you now is
Yes.
your passion
Yes.
for what you do, the passion that you provide for your community. And now that I'm seeing you on video, I know we talked on Messenger quite often, and you've helped me out a lot with that. So thank you for that, Nancy. Sometimes I even
Anytime.
need a sounding board to to talk to. And, you know, you're just so open and caring. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But that passion
Thanks.
for your community, that's really why I wanted to talk to you, because you're building such a great thing there. You really are. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for
Yeah,
that.
it's been pretty magical.
Well, you keep the magic going, Nancy, and I hope
All
you
right.
have that tree we found at the garage sale.
It's hanging. It's there.
Fantastic.
Yes. All right.
Thanks so much.
Okay, Joel.
Okay.
Yeah. Great to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.